You're listening to the NAMAD Sessions by Mia, live from the NAMAD Annual Membership Meeting 2025.
Welcome. What's up, everybody? This is Errol Bomar. I am here at NAMAD, and we are having conversations with Mia. Of course, this is More Than Cars, and I'm actually here with Glenn Lundy. Glenn,
what's up, man?
See you again, man?
Great to see you, brother.
It's been a little while since we got together. How's
it
everything
has,
been?
Man. Everything's been amazing. Rapid speed of change and rapidly trying to stay in front of it, you know?
Absolutely. So let's talk about speed of change, right?
Yeah.
Because I think in our industry, speed is always something we can talk about, right?
Urgent.
What are you seeing when you talk about speed of change? What things are you kind of like waking up to top of brain? Like, hey, I got to get in front of this, or I got to keep up with this.
Well, there's multiple, but ultimately there's things like AI. There's things like politics and tariffs and changes that happen as far as those types of things. What are manufacturers doing? There's changes there, so on and so forth. But all these things really tied to like the consumer sentiment and experience, and it's all over the place, right?
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's like, we want this, and then other times it's like, no, we need this, and so on and so forth. So with the clients that I work with, all my members of 800% Club, we're trying to, as a consulting agency, stay in front and say, where's the puck going, not where did it come from,
exactly.
So that we can navigate. But I've been in this industry since 99, man. I've just never seen the dynamics of it changing so rapidly and frequently. It's not like there's a rapid change and then it sticks.
Yes.
It's like rapid change and then it changes.
Right,
It's
absolutely.
pretty wild.
And I agree. There used to be those times in the industry where you can kind of almost ride the wave, if you will, right? Where you knew like, okay, this is what this trend is doing. We're going to see this for the next 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, exactly.
And we can just kind of, navigate this in a way. But now you're like, this might be 3 to 6 minutes,
right.
3 to 6 weeks.
That's
we don't
right.
know,
That's right.
But we just got to keep tracking on it. I'm glad you mentioned the 800% and the memberships.
Yeah.
For those that are, first time seeing you,
Sure.
take some time, tell us more about that and what you're excited about right now, even amidst all this change.
Yeah, so we have something called 800% Club. I work with owners and general managers of car dealerships all over the United States and Canada. We help them scale their volume, profitability, shift the culture in the dealership through very simple processes that we help them implement.
Okay.
And then we've expanded that a little bit where we have what we call a whole dealership solution. So we also now do that with sales managers, salespeople, finance managers, et cetera, et cetera.
Fantastic. I love that. So, and obviously we're here at NAMAD. What was it about NAMAD, or what makes you say like, I've got to attend NAMAD, I've got to be here? I know we talked a little off camera. You said there's an energy in the air.
A little different.
What is it about being here?
So NAMAD is a culture of underdogs.
Okay.
And it is they're underdogs, they're overcomers, but at the same time, like, there's just a lot of fight in the room when it comes to NAMAD. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so I'm that way too.
Right.
I'm an underdog. I identify with underdogs.
Absolutely.
If it's not a Raiders game and I'm watching the game, people are like, who are you rooting for? My kids, they'll be like, who are you rooting for? I'm like, whoever's behind.
Yes, that's it.
Whoever's behind.
Right.
And then once they get ahead,
favorite.
I'm rooting for the team that's behind again.
Yeah.
Like, I always want the team to come from behind. And so NAMAD's got that energy. What they've been able to do at the top as far as the people that run this program, the connections with OEMs, the relationships that they're able to help these dealers make is super, super strong. And I've seen it really grow over the last few years. So this is a can't miss event for me every single year because of the people that are in attendance. Like, these are my people.
Yeah, and that's a great feeling, right?
Yeah.
When you can walk into a room and really not only feel seen, but be seen, but then also kind of be able to give that to other people, right? To say, I see you,
No doubt.
I can feel your presence, and I'm glad that you're here. That's a big deal.
I agree, man.
And I think, so I'm from Detroit, and what we
Right.
call it is grit, right?
Yep.
If you're, I know we talk about football, so I know where we are, but that line, we got that Detroit grit, and
Right.
so that's that mindset of like, coming from whatever the circumstance was, coming from whatever the naysay was,
Right.
or coming from whatever the potential setback. I remember growing up, it was always said this way: like, I can give you a bucket of cement, and
Right.
you can make a stepping stone or a stumbling block. It's
Right.
totally up to you.
One or the
right?
other. Yeah.
And so I think that's a great thing to be able to say and have that mindset. Like, no, we're making stepping stones over here. We don't need those stumbling blocks.
That's
so,
it, man.
What's something that you're looking forward to? Like, I know we're here.
Yeah.
I think we're here till Friday.
Yes.
What's something that's, if you got something you want to take away, or you're like, I want to get this year? Because I know how many NAMADs has this been for you?
So this is our 4th year.
Okay.
Yeah, this is our 4th year with NAMAD. I believe for us,
Yes.
right, it's really important. This week is very, very, very important to have some conversations with some of the manufacturers.
Okay.
So Toyota's been a big supporter of NAMAD. Ford's
Yes.
been a big supporter of NAMAD. Hyundai and Mercedes. These 4, there's some other ones, but those 4 have been very big supporters of NAMAD. And it's time for my organization to start having more conversations on that level. The minority dealers, if you look at the data,
Yeah.
minority dealerships don't necessarily have the resources that some of these other dealerships have.
Right.
Typically, a lot of them are first generation.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not 3rd generation, 4th generation.
Right.
So there's debt involved. It's a little bit, I want to say harder, but it's a more unique situation.
Absolutely.
And these guys need as much help as they can get, as far as, especially in the early years when they first get these dealerships, getting it stable,
Right.
getting it healthy, and learning the systems and processes of that. But they don't necessarily have the resources to get all the training, right?
Yeah.
That guys like I do.
I
And
understand.
so this week we need to get with the manufacturers.
Okay.
And we need to figure out how Toyota and Ford and Hyundai and Mercedes can work with their minority dealers to give them the resources they need so that we can get these dealerships healthy and get them rocking and rolling.
I absolutely understand that. And I think, sticking with our football analogy, it's almost like kind of what you're mentioning is the difference between getting handed a playbook and having to create a playbook.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
When you have that family lineage of like, hey, we've been doing this for 30, 40, 50, in some cases 100 years, you kind of almost get that playbook handed down to you to a point to where you just start refining the plays.
Right.
But when you are first generation, you're like, I don't know,
Exactly.
and being able to say that. So,
and it's not, again, like not necessarily easier or harder. It's just a whole different
it's a different
different
narration.
deal.
Yeah.
Right? Different deal. So
I agree. Now, from your experience, and maybe not necessarily getting too much into the weeds, but is there something, like, is there a bridge or a gap or something that's missing between the OEM and the minority dealer that you can see, like, if we could just quarter turn this screw, it would really help?
I think that, so all of my kids, I have 9 kids.
Okay.
And eight of them, I have one that's older, but 8 of my kids are homeschooled.
Okay.
And my wife homeschools all of them, which is incredible. And what we've learned through that experience is each kid has to be taught differently, uniquely.
Yes.
And that's what makes homeschool great, is they all get a little different experience based on their skill level and where they're at, versus a public school where you got 30 kids in a room and everyone's getting taught, and here's the curriculum and here's the plan.
Yeah.
I think with the manufacturers, and I understand where they're coming from, but it's blanket conversations, right? We're treating all dealerships the same, right? General Motors has, 7,000 plus dealerships. They're having one conversation speaking to 7,000 different dealership owners.
Yes.
And I get it, right? They're trying to go one to many. I get it. But the conversations that need to be had with a first-time minority dealer versus conversations with a third-generation non-minority dealer, it's 2 different track patterns.
Absolutely.
And so I think what we're seeing in the industry is the same thing you kind of see in school, right? Those that can't learn in that particular path don't have success in those group rooms, right? And so I think that's the biggest thing for the manufacturers is we need to start understanding that this is a different conversation. It's a more unique conversation. And so if we could turn a screw on maybe dialing things even back a little bit, getting back to the conversations maybe we were having in the 70s and 80s
Yeah.
with dealers when they were starting to get into this business,
Right.
those types of conversations, I think that can make a big difference.
Yes, and I think to your point, you're absolutely right. I think a lot of times, sometimes what happens is almost this assumption of you're supposed to know.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to speak to you from a position, and even I love the analogy that you mentioned with your kids because that's so true, right? And even as parents, right, we go through that. I have 4, so
Right.
I definitely
Congratulations.
understand. Right,
Part-time,
same. Right.
part-time parent over here.
Right,
No,
I
I'm
love it.
just
That's
kidding.
it, right? All right. But it's so great. It's so crazy because it's absolutely true that the same conversation that I might have with my daughter, I can't have with my son.
That's right.
And even if I try to go down that road, you can almost see the receptiveness of the child is not the same.
Correct.
So now applying that in our world and industry, and kind of like you mentioned with the dealership aspect, the things that I'm worried about, the inventory or the logistics or location or clientele or all these different things, it's not just, like you said, a one-to-many scenario.
Yeah. And I think NAMAD's doing a good job.
Yeah.
Like NAMAD's doing a good job of trying to bridge that gap.
Right.
And creating space like this.
Yeah.
So that we can have those different conversations, right? NAMAD's doing a phenomenal job. But this is once a year.
Right.
Like there's 361 other days
Right.
a year that we need to be having these types of conversations. So
Absolutely.
I would say that'd be the one biggest thing.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, before we get out of here, because I love that about the, kind of keeping it more conversations. If, let's say, we've got a minority dealer out there and they're watching right now, what's something, maybe a nugget or piece of advice that you would give them, like to kind of help with that relationship? What's something that you just say, hey, if you're not talking about this with your OEM partners, start speaking up, start saying this. What's something that you would give them advice-wise? Without giving away the secret sauce, because I know don't give them all of
about
it.
that at all.
Just a little like, hey, you might want to try that.
The manufacturer probably won't like this if they were to listen to this, but I would say the biggest piece of advice I give to a minority dealer is understand the used car game.
Yeah.
The used car game is something we can control. It's not as complex.
Okay.
We can get really healthy in the used car game. We can create healthy dealerships, good cash flow, good profit margins, feeds our service department.
Okay.
So used, if we can get really good at used, that will grow our new.
That makes sense.
If we're really focused on new and we're deep in the weeds with the manufacturers and we're trying to understand all those different pieces,
Yes.
it's such a cash-driven business, bro. Like it's a month before. I mean, every time you open a door in one of these stores, it's $15,000-$20,000 a day.
Yeah.
Right. So get strong and healthy with used cars. Continue to grow your used cars, and your new cars will grow.
Absolutely.
And as they're growing, the manufacturer will continue to build that relationship with you, get you more inventory, do all of those things, right? So I see a lot of guys that are trying to honor the manufacturer and going broke in the process.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, let's get strong and healthy with used, and in doing so, we will honor the manufacturer.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's a great point because, being able to get healthy in one area of your dealership is going to relieve those stress points.
Correct.
And now you have the ability and the bandwidth to actually be able to focus because, I think anything, especially we talked about being dads, when you have to provide and when you have people dependent on you and when things are going on, if things are not in the way that they need to be, that's a whole nother stress that you're carrying day in, day out. That's taken away from your creative side, your energetic side, So I think that's a great piece of advice.
Well, and interestingly enough, right, like it can be challenging to switch someone from a new car to a used car.
Yes.
But it's pretty easy to switch someone from a used car to a new car.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
So if we just focus on the used and we drive traffic through that path, you'll naturally sell more new cars.
Yeah, and I mean, you'll see people even advance, right? They might start off and they might have that, and now they got a new job or better promotion or dual income now.
That's it.
Hey, we need a new car. Or we got a family.
Yeah.
And now you're able to build that relationship with them. That now you're not just a one-time dealer, but you're building that sustainable relationship with that particular client.
That's the key,
Great.
man. That's
so,
the key.
If people want to find you, if they want more information, tell them real quick where they can find you, where they can locate you, how they get in touch with you, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I'm fairly easy. Just Google Glenn Lundy, and you'll find me.
I love it. He said Google him. Use that world Google.
Or Chat GPT me, either one.
I love it. That's it. Don't email. Don't Google him.
That's right.
You understand?
Well, because people prefer different different pathways. It goes back to the kids and the individuals, right?
Yes.
That's why I do it this way. If you're an Instagram person, go that way.
Right.
If you're a Facebook person, go that way.
Yeah.
If you want to email me, you'll find that. If you want to go to my website, you can do that. But if you just Google Glenn Lundy, you get it all.
That's
and then
it.
you take whatever path to me you want to come.
That's
Because
it.
I'm ready and I'm waiting. However you want to come, I'm here for you.
That's it. And he still has a pager too. So he's like on call like a doc. You can page him. When you Google, you're going to get a pager number. I see it. It's right here on his hip. They're not ready for that conversation. They don't know.
No, they ain't ready for that. No.
Glenn,
Awesome,
thank you
man.
again, man. Always
Thank
great
you.
to see you.
Yeah, amazing to see
And I'll
you.
see you the rest
You
of
look
this
good.
week.
Yes, sir.
We'll get together and do something else.
Okay,
All
sounds
right.
great. Cool.
Thanks again.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you all for watching and hanging out with us. We are going to continue with conversations from NAMAD with Mia. I'm Errol Bomar. This is More Than Cars. We're excited to have you here. We'll see you on the next one.
Thank you for listening to this NAMAD session brought to you by Mia. At More Than Cars, we're obsessed with uniting people around one big idea, that thriving people are the only path to a thriving and profitable industry. And if that resonates with you, head over to morethancars.com to join our email list and check out our full list of podcasts and programming.